Hello and welcome to Southfield Success Stories, the show that features the graduates of Southfield Public Schools. I'm your host, Catherine Talifer. Today on our program, we will have Ozie Henry Pye IV, who graduated from Southfield Lathrop in 1994 and is now Executive Director of O.H. Pye III Funeral Home in Detroit. Thank you for joining us, Ozie.
Thank you for having me.
Now tell me, what memorable events in school made the most impact on you?
I would say, well, I remember in my senior year, we had a change in principal, probably your principal, who was just now retiring, Mr. Henderson.
Yeah.
He took over as principal in my senior year, and when Mr. Smythe, who had been there for, I think ever since the building had been here, he had retired along with Mr. Pogatz, who was his vice principal. And, Mr. Henderson and I had a very good relationship, when he first came in, and it was pretty cool. That was good. That was one thing in particular that stands out.
What teachers inspired you the most?
I have to say, when I think back on it, there was a teacher, my English teacher, Mr. Kish. He really, I use a lot of what he taught me today. When I do English, because I have to do a lot of speaking in different, situations that I'm in. And he had a lot to do with that. Also, there were a lot of other influential teachers here. Mr. Pound, was a good one. Of course, Mr. Henderson, principal, he was always good. And Mr. Rice before he left. And, several other, figures that were here. Mr. Miller, my band president, the band teacher, he was great too. So.
What extracurricular activities were you involved in at Southfield Lathrop?
Well, a band in particular. I played the trumpet, I loved it, and also I was on a wrestling team also, got a varsity letter, so that was fun.
As president of the band, what responsibilities did you have?
Well, I was responsible for the banquet that we have every year, where all the parents and everything, I had to work with the band boosters and all of them, and we all come together. We have this banquet for everybody, and I was the one that was very responsible in doing that. And I remember my year, we had decided to have it in December as opposed to the end of the year, and it was snowing, really, really bad. So they closed school down the day that we were going to pass out tickets. So nobody, had their stuff together. But luckily, I had all my ducks in a row, so it was easy for me to just simply go to my records. I know who had bought what, and I just simply distributed, them out to everybody. Actually, when they came to the event, I had them already listed. I knew how many tickets they bought, and they just kind of went in and, got seated. So it was cool.
That's good. Do you still play the trumpet?
Every now and then, just in my private time mostly. Whenever I can get an opportunity, wherever I can get away, I try to play it.
Okay. Where did you go to college at?
Well, as soon as I left Southfield Lathrop, I went to OCC for my first few years, really to just save money and stuff like that, because I always knew that I was going to go into mortuary science. But I went there, and I got, had a beautiful education there. Then I went to Wayne State and finished off everything and graduated from there in '97. So I came out kind of quick. I was only 3 years. Okay.
What motivated you to major in mortuary work?
Well, my parents had helped me out a great deal, and we always have been a really tight unit, the three of us, because I don't have any other brothers and sisters.
Okay.
So it was always me in the business with them ever since I was really young. So when I had an opportunity to come and, go to school and everything, we had our sit-down talk, and they said, okay, son, you want to go into this? And I said, yeah, I want to go in and help. So I ended up going into it with them and, came out of college and everything, really just to help and help out my family, because I know that they needed me.
So they were real supportive?
Very much so, very much so.
What does an executive director of a funeral home do?
Well, my responsibilities are more so taking care of all the paperwork, all the business that goes on in the building, as well as all the things that go on in the prep areas and things of that nature too. Kind of on top of everything. I also take out funerals. I will make arrangements with families and just kind of oversee everything to make sure that everything is intact the way that it should be, that people are, my employees are happy, my customers are happy, families that we serve, everybody's happy. That's pretty much my job.
Is one of your responsibilities to work with the deceased?
Well, when I went to college, in order to be licensed as a funeral director in the state of Michigan, you got to know it all. They don't make distinctions on some people embalm, some people funeral direct. It's just, you just do one thing. You're either licensed for it or you aren't. And I have my license in it, so I'm able to do all of it. But my interest is more so dealing with the families and things of that nature. I can, if I want to, embalm. Sometimes, if I have a need to, I may go and, just do a little touch-up and stuff like that. But pretty much, that's not my forte. I'm more into, like I said, people and everything. I really like the aspect of it that I'm helping someone who's lost their loved one.
Do people respond to you differently after they find out that you're in the mortuary business?
Sometimes they do. It's like I'll have, when I meet, I'm single, so when I meet girls, they'll say, that's what you do, and it's different. I get different responses from different ones, but pretty much I usually, once they realize, that whatever that I do and everything, it's okay. I don't really, the stigma I think is kind of changing now, I don't know. They kind of look at me a little differently, so it's cool. I don't really get too much of a thing about it. Sometimes, more like when I was younger than when I got older, so.
On average, how much does a typical funeral cost?
Funerals are about, they average, the national average is about $5,000 for a service. And that, it kind of varies. I know we have some services that are as low as, say, like $1,600, $1,500, or sometimes $800. But you can go as high as like $20,000, $30,000. So you can factor that in,
Right.
And you can kind of picture it. So yeah.
I understand you're studying to become a minister.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a member of Hope United Methodist Church, and I'm in a program now where I'm learning to, be a minister there of the United Methodist Church, and this has been very inspiring, and I've, it only hopes to add to that which I already do in my business, and as far as helping people, I'm able to maybe give them a little word also, help them in a different way.
That's awesome. What was the process you took in order to become such an executive in your field?
Well, I went to, like I said, once I went to college, I came out and just got hands-on, just got more training. My father has been phenomenal. I couldn't have asked for a better teacher. He has taught me everything, as far as how to do the business and everything like that. He's totally a genius. We started the business in 1980. I was just like 4 years old then. And then, now we've actually even recently expanded our business. Now we have, on the same location that we've expanded, and now we have a chapel that seats about 400 people. We have, a lower level that also has chapels and, computers and everything. So my father is, like I said, just really a genius, and I've just followed his lead, and God has blessed us ever since.
Do you ever want to take over the business, maybe?
Absolutely. Just as soon as my parents, retire and things of that nature, when they feel like I'm ready and, they're ready to retire, then I will do that. But my parents are kind of young, so hopefully I won't be for a little while yet. But nonetheless, whenever they do, then it'll be fine. I'm sure that, like I said, they're capable leaders, and whenever, they're ready, then I'll be ready.
Now, once you settle down and get married, would you want your wife to also assist you in the business like your mom and dad did?
Actually, that would be preferred, but it's not necessarily something I require, because I know, a lot of women I know today, they have their own careers, they have their own things that they're into. So I could, it would be a nice thing if she did come and help me out, but if she didn't, if she had her own thing, that's fine too. So I can kind of go either way, but the important thing is that I have somebody at home who loves me, who I can trust, who I can depend on.
Where in Detroit is the funeral home located at?
It's actually on, the address is 17600 Plymouth Road. It's right on Plymouth Road, 1 block east of Southfield, the Southfield Freeway. Pretty easy to reach, you know, like right near 96 and all those other freeways too, so, you know, right there. Like I said, we've been there since 1980 also.
Is there anything else, you know, you may want to venture off into besides your ministry work and you working as a funeral home director, like another occupation you may want to pursue later on in life since you're so young?
No, I was thinking eventually one day I may teach or something like that, but that would be after I retired from, you know, the funeral home and stuff like that. I may just kind of settle on some sort of a teaching thing. It's been kind of one of my thoughts I want to teach, but I think the ministry might even cover that, so I probably would just, those two are keeping me pretty busy now. I think that'd be fine for me at this point. That's plenty. You know, I also have a limousine company too.
Oh, okay.
You know, that I do on my own time. I, you know, have a, you know, a small staff with that, and it's growing also. You know, so I have my hands full, definitely.
Well, we're out of time, but thank you so much, Ozie, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And viewers, thank you so much for watching. For another edition of Southfield Success Stories, I'm your host, Talifer, and tune in next time.